James Stewart, Jimmy Stewart, an American icon. The beloved actor who charmed us with his everyman appeal, his quiet integrity, and his unforgettable roles in films like It's a Wonderful Life and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Today we're looking at the lives of James Stewart's children, his adopted sons, Ronald McLean and Michael McLean Stewart, and his twin daughters, Judy Stewart Merrill and Kelly Stewart Harcourt. Let's find out what happened to James Stewart's kids. Number 4, Ronald Walsh McLean. Ron was born on June 19, 1944, to Gloria Haytrick McLean and her first husband, Edward Beale McLean Jr. When Gloria married James Stewart in August 1949, Jimmy wholeheartedly embraced her two young sons, Ronald, then 5, and his younger brother Michael, then 3, formally adopting them and raising them as his own. Ron chose a path of military service, becoming a first lieutenant in the U.S. Marine Corps. This decision must have resonated deeply with James Stewart, who was himself a decorated World War II veteran, having risen to the rank of Brigadier General in the Air Force Reserve. Imagine the pride Jimmy must have felt in 1968 when he pinned the gold bars of a U.S. Marine Corps second lieutenant on his son Ronald. It was a clear moment of fatherly pride. Tragically, Ron's service led to the ultimate sacrifice. He was killed in action in Quang Tri Province, Vietnam on June 8, 1969, at the young age of 24. He was serving with Company A, 3rd Reconnaissance Battalion, 3rd Marine Division. For his conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity in action, First Lieutenant Ronald McLean was posthumously awarded the Silver Star. Accounts of his final moments describe a brave young officer who, facing heavy enemy fire, skillfully maneuvered his reconnaissance team to safety and courageously engaged the enemy, ultimately giving his life while protecting a comrade. Ronald Walsh McLean is buried beside his mother, Gloria Haytrick Stewart, at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, a lasting testament to their family bond. His sacrifice remains a poignant chapter in the Stewart family story. Number 3, Michael McLean Stewart. Michael was born, likely in 1946, to Gloria Haytrick McLean and Edward Beale McLean Jr. He became Michael McLean Stewart after his mother married James Stewart in 1949, and Jimmy formally adopted him at age 3, alongside his older brother Ronald. He grew up with Ronald and later his twin half-sisters, Judy and Kelly Stewart. Education played a notable role in Michael's upbringing. In a nod to his stepfather's own past, Michael attended Mercersburg Academy in Pennsylvania for his prep schooling, the same institution James Stewart had attended, where Jimmy had been active in sports and developed his early interests. This choice suggests a desire by James Stewart to provide his son with a similar foundational experience. Despite growing up in the heart of Beverly Hills, the Stewart children were reportedly raised with a strong emphasis on grounded values. Michael himself once said that even though they grew up in Hollywood, they were raised with the same morals and beliefs their father had learned in his small Pennsylvania hometown. He specifically mentioned his mother, Gloria, holding the same morals and beliefs as James, highlighting her crucial role in shaping their characters. The loss of his older brother, Ronald, in Vietnam in 1969 must have been a profound event in Michael's young adult life, perhaps reinforcing a desire for a more private existence. In an era where celebrity offspring often pursue public careers, Michael McLean Stewart stands out for his consistent privacy. Throughout his adult life, he has largely remained out of the public eye, a path also chosen by his half-sisters. One of the few documented public appearances Michael made in connection with his father's legacy was on August 17, 2007. He, along with his sisters Kelly Stewart Harcourt and Judy Stewart Merrill, attended the dedication ceremony for the U.S. Postal Service's commemorative stamp honoring James Stewart, Michael McLean. Stewart's life illustrates that being part of a famous family doesn't mean you have to live a public life. Number 2, Judy Stewart. Merrill. Born Judy Stewart on May 7, 1951 in Hollywood, she arrived with her twin sister, Kelly. Their birth was a joyous event for their parents, James Stewart and Gloria Haytrick McLean Stewart, though Gloria endured a challenging cesarean section. Judy grew up in a blended family with her twin Kelly and her two older adopted brothers, Ronald and Michael McLean. The Stewart household, despite its Hollywood address, emphasized traditional values. The family attended the Presbyterian Church, and were taught the importance of resilience. This grounding was a deliberate effort by James and Gloria to provide normalcy amidst fame. A significant and tragic event of Judy's late teens was the death of her stepbrother, Ronald McLean, in Vietnam in 1969. Judy would have been about 18, an age where such a loss would be deeply felt, perhaps reinforcing the family's values of service and sacrifice, and maybe even a desire for a more private, stable life. Throughout her adult life, Judy Stewart Merrill has largely chosen to stay out of the intense public scrutiny that often follows famous Hollywood families. However, she has made occasional public appearances, usually tied to honoring her father's legacy. She appeared in the 2017 TV movie James Stewart, Robert Mitchum, The Two Faces of America as self-daughter of James Stewart, and in 1997, she was interviewed as Judy Merrill for the TV movie James Stewart, The Last of the Good Guys. Decades earlier, she made appearances on shows like Password, The Mike Douglas Show, and the German TV series VIP Schaukel. These earlier appearances were common for celebrity families at the time, and don't necessarily indicate a desire for an ongoing public career. The use of the name Judy Merrill in various contexts, including media appearances and local mentions related to her life in Atherton, California, shows she established her own distinct identity, likely through marriage. This allows her to operate in her personal capacity while still acknowledging her heritage. Judy Stewart Merrill has centered her life on family and community, primarily in Atherton, a Northern California town. She is a mother to sons David Merrill and John Merrill, who are James Stewart's grandsons. Atherton, an affluent but distinctly non-Hollywood area, likely provided a stable and private environment for her to raise her family. James Stewart often visited Judy at her Atherton home, highlighting a strong, ongoing father-daughter relationship maintained within her private life. When Jimmy Stewart passed away in 1997, Judy Merrill flew to Los Angeles to be with the family, alongside her twin sister Kelly and their brother Michael. Beyond her immediate family, Judy Merrill has been involved in her local community, notably organizing local fundraisers, often supporting wildlife causes. Her parents, James and Gloria Stewart, would attend these events. James Stewart reportedly loved watching his grandchildren model at some of these functions, showing his pride and support for his daughter's community efforts. Together with her siblings, Judy has played a role in thoughtfully representing and protecting their father's legacy. Not just his films, but also the values he stood for. Number 1. Kelly Stewart Harcourt. Born on May 7, 1951, in Hollywood, she shared her unique upbringing with her twin sister Judy and their adopted older brothers, Ronald and Michael. The Stewart household, though in the orbit of Hollywood, was grounded in strong values of hard work, family, and community, instilled by James and Gloria Stewart. A pivotal early experience for Kelly was a family safari to Kenya in 1965. This trip deeply intrigued her with Africa and its wildlife, planting the seeds for her future career. Her parents' early connections to the Leakey Foundation also provided inspiration and perhaps a pathway. Kelly embarked on a distinguished academic journey far from Hollywood. She earned a Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology from Stanford University in 1973 and a PhD in Zoology from Cambridge University in 1981. Even as an undergrad, she was doing hands-on fieldwork, participating in paleontological digs in Kenya with Richard Leakey. After Stanford, she went to Dian Fossey's Karasok Research Center in Rwanda, dedicated to studying mountain gorillas. It was there, amidst this challenging research environment, that she met her future husband, Alexander H. Sandy Harcourt, also an anthropologist. This meeting in the field, based on shared research goals, laid the foundation for a lifelong partnership in both life and work. For decades, Kelly Stewart Harcourt has been an influential figure in primatology, focusing on gorilla behavior, ecology, and conservation. From 1980 to 1983, she and Sandy Harcourt co-directed the renowned Karasok Research Center in Rwanda during Dian Fossey's absence, a huge responsibility. Since 1989, Kelly has been a research associate in the Department of Anthropology at the University of California, Davis, where her husband is a professor emeritus. This role has allowed her to focus on research and scholarly writing. Her contributions to understanding gorillas are substantial. She co-authored the critically acclaimed book, Gorilla Society: Conflict, Compromise and Cooperation Between the Sexes, 2007, with Sandy Harcourt, a landmark study synthesizing decades of research. She also co-edited Mountain Gorillas, 3 decades of research at Karasoke, and authored Gorillas, Natural History and Conservation. From 1989 to 1999, she edited Gorilla Conservation News. Her expertise has been sought by prestigious organizations like the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund International and the African Wildlife Foundation. Currently, she's on the advisory board of the Mountain Gorilla One Health Program, a UC Davis initiative integral to gorilla conservation, and her work has played a role in the remarkable rebound of the mountain gorilla population. While dedicated to science, Kelly has also engaged with media and storytelling. She's an executive producer for A Truly Wonderful Life, a film in development about her father, James Stewart's life and faith. She also produced the TV movie James Stewart, Robert Mitchum, The Two Faces of America, and appeared on the classic game show Password in the 60s. From 1996 to 1999, she even wrote a science column for her local newspaper in Davis, California, making science accessible to the community. Kelly married Dr. Alexander H. Sandy Harcourt on June 28, 1977. Their partnership is a remarkable blend of personal and professional life, forged in the field and nurtured through decades of collaborative research. Kelly has been a devoted guardian of her father's legacy. She attended the 2007 unveiling of the James Stewart commemorative stamp, expressing the family's honor. She actively participates in events at the Jimmy Stewart Museum, most notably in 2020, after a speaker at the Republican National Convention compared then-President Trump to George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life. Kelly penned a powerful letter to the New York Times. She stated, "Our family considers Ms. Harp's analogy to be the height of hypocrisy and dishonesty, defending the film's core message of decency and compassion." She mentioned her siblings supported this stance. Her commitment to giving back is also significant. Kelly serves as a trustee for the Stewart Foundation, the James C. Stewart Charitable Foundation, alongside her sister Judy and stepbrother Michael. The foundation supports arts, education, environment, health, and human services, primarily in Tucson, Arizona, and Southern California. Kelly and Sandy Harcourt have personally supported the Leakey Foundation and the Stewart Foundation's grant to Gorilla Doctors in 2023 directly reflects her expertise and passion. Kelly Stewart Harcourt's life exemplifies a remarkable integration of heritage and personal achievement, using her intellect and passion to make significant contributions to science, conservation, and the thoughtful stewardship of her family's values. The 4 children of James Stewart, each in their own way, navigated the immense legacy of one of Hollywood's most beloved figures.